bunch. Why don't you just kind of give us a recap of how you thought the game went to get us started?
Well, obviously, I thought, the first half it was kind of back and forth, and then we made, 2 or 3 long threes there at the end of the half, and was up 8, and obviously we felt like we were in a good spot. They weren't going to score 29 points the second half. Probably, we knew they were going to come back and make some adjustments, and I told our guys even when they made the run and went up the first time at 52-51, I think was the score. From that point on, we just kept making plays to stay in it. I said a lot of teams that do a good job in one half, as soon as the team that's supposed to win makes that run and gets ahead, a lot of times it becomes a blowout. And we just kept hanging around. I just kept saying, just keep hanging around, just keep hanging around. And we, they definitely had the upper hand in the second half, but at the end of the day, we had our best shooter with 2 shots to tie it, and that's all you can ask for in that situation. This is the second time in 2014 we went and played Illinois Wesleyan, and they were the number 4 ranked team in the country, and I think they went to the Final Four that year. And I said, our league's not as strong as some leagues. I get it. It is what it is. I just like to go play in the national tournament one time and not play one of the top 8 teams in the country on their home floor in the first game. That's 2 games in a row that it came down to the last possession of the game, and people like, oh well, and I said, well, it's hard, it's hard to win that game right there. So, but I was so proud of our guys and how they executed the game plan, and I was just really proud of them.
The foul trouble was obviously pretty tough to overcome inside.
Yes.
Trying to stop Reimers.
That's the first time. I don't know that we've had one guy foul out all year. If we have, it happened as maybe one time. We sure haven't had 3 guys foul out in one game all year, and that's kind of all I'm going to say about that. Obviously, he's really good, and he's really good at drawing fouls. I mean, I'm not, I'm not blaming it on the officiating at all. I mean, I think it's just we've known that all year. We've been undersized, and had to kind of play bigger than we are, and tonight was no exception. I mean, he's really good. I mean, Nebraska Wesleyan's in a tough league, and he does really well in a league that's has a lot of guys that are his size. And so it was it was kind of a tough matchup for us. We kind of had to decide what we wanted to take away, and had to give us the best chance to win. And we forced them to go 5 for 23 from the 3-point line, a really good shooting team, and that was just kind of that was the trade-off, and he was a handful there, especially in the second half. He's good.
Josh, you probably didn't want that first half to end the way you guys were playing there at the end.
Yes, sir. I think we started off really well. That was our goal coming in. We kind of felt, kind of like what Coach said, we kind of felt a little disrespected, with our seeding. But we also understand, our league isn't the best league, but we really didn't care who we played. Like I told the guys, we're coming in to win the game. Somebody told me right before we made the trip down here that no one from our league has won a game in the tournament. And just so for most people, just making the tournament was big. And I told everybody in the locker room, we're not here just to make the tournament. We're here to win. And so we really came out strong in the first half. I think we just played together, and we stayed patient. They run a crazy 3-2 zone, and it's confusing, and it makes you be patient, and it makes you pass a lot, and you just have to find those openings. And I thought we were really patient in the first half, and we got the ball where we wanted to. We made a couple of shots, and we were feeling good.
Talk about your defensive effort in the first half, because your 3-2 zone really threw Nebraska Wesleyan out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys did a great job there.
Yeah, well, that's kind of our, as Coach says, that's our curveball. We play a man, and sometimes we play the 2-3. But we've been undersized all year, so the 2-3 has helped us a lot. And really, we were just trying to slow them down. I think they averaged like 90 points a game. I mean, their offense is incredible. They have great cuts, great shooters all over the floor. So, our goal was to try to run them off the three. And like Coach said, you can't take away everything. And I forget his name, Clay Reimers. Oh my goodness, the big guy. He was a beast tonight. So, I have to just tip my hat to him.
You like him shooting out as far as he does?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
10 foot on 10-foot line on the volleyball.
well, I knew that him and Jr. were going to have to take some. I said you might have to take a couple of deep ones, just to get it, just to make them honor you. And he puts the time in. He's put in more time in that gym on the Dr. Dish and the gun than any player I've ever had. And he spends a lot of time shooting it. And so I felt comfortable with him. If they gave it to him, he's right. I told him watching the film yesterday, I said, it looks one way to you, but when you get out there tomorrow and the 6'6" and the 6'5" guy are out there on the perimeter on the front, it's going to be a little harder to drive around it and pass around it than you think it's going to be. I said they really extend it. They can really extend it out with their size, and it makes it tough. And you end up taking some long shots, and you end up sometimes throwing the ball away because you think things are there that aren't. They do a really good job in it, and I felt like we did he was going to have to take some shots and make some shots, and we did there for the most part. I mean, it's not like one half we shot 60 and the next half we shot 30. We shot 52 in the first and 48 in the second. So I mean, we played pretty similar. They just played a little better offensively, and they played much better offensively in the second half than they did the first. But I felt like we did what we had to do to stay in the game and have a chance to win at the end.
You played Wash U late earlier in the year.
Yes.
What kind of game are we going to see tomorrow night?
They're very similar to Nebraska Wesleyan. I mean, we played them early when we were still trying to figure some things out, and it was 32-30 at the half, right before the half was over, and they made 2 threes and got up like 8 at halftime. And they came out in the second half, and I can't remember if it was number 22. I can't think of his name, Cole or
Jack Nolan.
Nolan. Yeah, Nolan. Nolan made a couple of threes, and one of their guys off the bench made a couple of threes. And next thing I know, I looked up and it was 20. And that was just kind of where it stayed. But they've got a good team. They're very patient. They're very good offensively, and they make it. You look at them, it's not. They're good defensively, kind of like Nebraska Wesleyan is good defensively in playing a different type of defense, but much the same thing. They don't look like they're out there all up in everybody's grill, but at the same time, it's very hard to score on them. I mean, they're always in good position. They're always in the passing lanes. They make you make shots over them, and they've got some good size, just like Nebraska Wesleyan does. It'll be a war tomorrow. It'll be a great game. I think it'll be 2 teams that are very similar, and it should go down to the wire, I would think.
What'd you tell your seniors, Coach? You got Josh here, Enrique, their names are all over
Yeah.
the career scoring.
Oh, yeah.
lists, and they've meant a lot to your program.
They've meant everything. I told them I've coached high school and college for 32 years, and I said I don't think I've ever had a team that I've enjoyed as much as this bunch. We got to the conference championship last year, and Eureka beat us by 1 point. And I've had a lot of times where we had a team do well one year and fall a little short, and guys would say, oh, well, next year we're going to take that next step. And then next year it didn't materialize. They didn't even get back to where they were the year before. And this bunch all year, even at 1-6 at the start of the season, we're like, I just kept saying, I think we've got the pieces here. We've got a nice team. We just got to stay tight and keep believing in each other. And then when he got hurt for a couple of games and J.R. Wynn Brown started playing, that kind of changed it a little bit. It gave us another ball handler and another scorer out there. And so it took us a few games even then to kind of figure out the new configuration. But, that's 2 years in our league. They've went 31-5 in the league in the last 2 years and won it back-to-back. And they've had 2 really good seasons, and him and Enrique and You know, they're like you say, they're all over the record books and everything, and they've meant a lot to this program. I just told them after the game how proud I am of them and how much I've enjoyed them and how much we all love them, because it's in this one game doesn't define who they are and what they've been. They've been their impact on our program is immeasurable.
I'm good.
Okay, all right.
Thank